Did you know that LGBTQ plus identification has been doubling with each new generation? According to Gallup polls, only 2% of baby boomers identify with that label, whereas 5% of Gen X and 10% of millennials, and a remarkable 22% of Gen Z identify as LGBTQ+. What could possibly be driving such a dramatic increase? At Clear Thinking, we investigated this question, and what we found really surprised us. First, let's tackle the surface level question. Is there some identity that's driving this difference? And it actually has a simple answer. A 2023 Gallup poll found that while only 4% of US adults identify as bisexual, 57% of LGBTQ+ adults are bi. Most of the increase comes from bisexual identification. Younger generations are identifying as bisexual at much higher rates than previous generations. This immediately raises a deeper question. Why are younger generations identifying as bisexual at such higher rates than older generations? There are three main hypotheses that could help explain this trend. The first is what we might call social bandwagoning. This perspective, often favored by those on the political right, suggests that people might be identifying as bisexual just because it's trendy or socially rewarded in certain circles. Under this view, people aren't actually experiencing more bisexual attraction. They're just more likely to adopt the label to fit in or to gain social status. The second hypothesis is increasing acceptance. This explanation, typically favored on the political left, suggests that bisexual feelings have always been common, and younger generations finally feel safer expressing their true identity. As with the first hypothesis, this one says that attraction isn't actually changing. What's changing is people's willingness to acknowledge it publicly and assign themselves a bisexual identity. The third hypothesis is that there's an actual increase in bisexual feelings. This hypothesis suggests that younger generations are genuinely experiencing more bisexual attraction than older generations. It's not just about identity labels. So which of these bi-potheses is correct? To help find out, we conducted a study on 608 people spanning different generations. For each person, we asked questions so as to apply 8 different definitions of bisexuality to see if they were bisexual according to each measure. We were able to test these 3 bi-potheses. Now you might be wondering whether people would lie on our survey. It's always possible, though we don't think it's that likely. Responses were completely anonymous, so there was no incentive to be dishonest. Additionally, participants were not aware of the hypotheses we were testing, which helps prevent bias. On the other hand, people could be lying even to themselves, which we can't fully rule out. Before I tell you what we found when we ran the study, let me tell you what I predicted we'd find. Honestly, I predicted we'd see much higher rates of bisexual identity in younger generations, but not a significant increase in bisexual attraction. But I was wrong. What we found were skyrocketing rates of both bisexual identity and bisexual attraction. Younger generations reported significantly higher sexual attraction to same-sex body parts. They also reported that a higher percentage of people that they're sexually attracted to are of their own sex. In fact, we found that rates of bisexual identity haven't increased especially fast compared to some of the fastest rising measures of bisexual attraction. This means our data best supports the third hypothesis, that younger generations have more bisexual feelings, not just more bisexual identification. We found some other really interesting patterns in our data as well. Bisexuality differs significantly by gender. While most men and women are not bisexual, women were about twice as likely to be bisexual as men. What's especially fascinating about this whole topic is that nobody, to my knowledge, can confidently explain why bisexual attraction has increased among younger people compared to older generations. That remains a mystery. One possibility is that as social acceptance increases, or as it becomes cooler and less stigmatized to be bisexual, people allow themselves to explore bisexual feelings, which causes them to grow over time. Another possibility is that something's been changing, either in our culture or in the environment, and that this has led to an increase in bisexual feelings. What do you think the reason is that we're finding more bisexual attraction in younger generations? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. To hear a lot more about this topic, check out our full article at clearthinking.org, which you can find linked in the description below.